Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HAFEZ TV. I'm your host, HAFEZ, and thank you for joining me on this impromptu live stream on a Sunday evening. It is just before, just quarter to 10 in the evening on a Sunday in the United Kingdom. I wasn't really going to go live today, but I don't know, something compelled me to do this. I was compelled. It wasn't my choice. First of all, this is obviously a stream about Venezuela and the recent attack or the recent apprehension of the dictator of Venezuela, Nicholas. Oh Christ, what was his name? Madeira. That's it, I think. Sorry about this. Maduro, Nicolas Maduro. Sorry. There we go. That's so much better. It would help for me to know the title of the show. Nicolas Maduro was apprehended by the United States on the 2nd of January 2026. 2026 is the year of America getting its mojo back, I believe. And I know that because I've seen it. I've seen that. Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America. Fuck yeah! That's right. America's back, baby. America's back. The 1980s America is back. The 1960s America is back. That's right. We're going in. We're going to kick some tushy. And if you don't like it, you libtards, you can go kick rocks, because that's what America's going to do. That's right. America is going in, and it's going to go in hard. It's going to go in deep. And there is no Vaseline if you're a dictator in the Middle East, in anywhere in the world. Now, I personally hope that it isn't just just South America, Venezuela. I think Iran is next on the chopping block, and you mullahs, your numbers are up. Good sirs, I'm sorry. The landlord has called in. Your lease will not be renewed. You have to vacate the premises ASAP. That's right. Vacate, or the landlord is going to bring in the heavies. Big up Fun with Dirt. Big up Peace. Now, I'm going to let you guys know about the real truth of why America went in where they, what they did with Venezuela. The fact of the matter is, we have to be, I by the way, I am in full support of everything I'm going to say and everything America and Trump did on the 2nd of January. I want that to be known. I want this. I would have voted for this. But I will tell you the truth, because the truth matters, and you should not live your life with a veil covering your eyes. There are plenty of people glazing Trump right now about this, and it's all, yes, glaze. Oh, deep throat. But that is fine. Yes, they went in. The Venezuelan people are happy. The libtards are pissed. And I am all good with that. Let the tards cry. Let the tears fall where they may. I don't give a damn, frankly, my dear. But what I will tell you is the truth. And the truth is this. They did not go in for the Venezuelan people, to rescue those dear Venezuelan people. If Venezuela becomes a free, open society with great economics and great GDP, and people are living good again, and free and healthy and wealthy and wise and all that jazz, that is a byproduct of what this event is about, what this world is about. If you happen to live well, that is a mere byproduct of the corporations and the powers that be that are going to get what they need to get. Always remember that. Your happiness is not the priority of what your government does. If you just happen to benefit from the master's table, that's just a bonus. That's all it is. Now, why did America go in? This is why America went in. As you can see, Venezuela is the largest oil reserve in the world. Not only oil reserve, they have other things as well, gold and other things. But yes, they are the largest oil reserve in the world. Second, only coming up close is second is Saudi Arabia and Iran. Now, in some charts I looked at, it seems Canada has joined third with Iran, or sometimes they're third and Iran is fourth. I'm not sure how these are exactly stated, but this is the reason they've gone in. Now, you think they've gone in just to siphon the oil for free? Not necessarily all that. Not necessarily just for that. But the fact of the matter is, the United States has been selling their own oil reserves in order to artificially keep the petrol or the gas prices low in the United States. As another analyst puts it, they've been selling the house silver in order to pay the bills. That is what America has been doing for several years now, for in fact several decades. And of course, you know, their primary source of income has always been weapons of war. But wars are not, America is fighting the very wars, and they're expending their own money. They've spent an absolute ridiculous fortune in places like Afghanistan, in Iraq. These were very costly wars for the United States in the last 25 years. And with nothing to show for it. They didn't come out of Iraq with particularly a lot of deals for oil and infrastructure, although some things came out of that. And zero, almost nothing out of Afghanistan. They didn't even start drilling or build any infrastructure or any oil, because a lot of people suspect there's a lot of oil in Afghanistan, but no one has actually tapped into it. So unfortunately, the country is not stable enough, and they've never tapped into that oil reserve or even tried to find if there is any oil, shale oil. Maybe there isn't at all. There's definitely gas. And there were some deals with the Taliban about that, but that never really emerged and didn't go through. The pipelines and all that stuff never materialized, because the Afghans are savage people who don't really give a crap about making money. They're mostly sitting around hoping that God will save them. So the fact of the matter is that Venezuela is the number one oil reserve in the world. That's number one. And America used to get a lot of its oil from Venezuela. The second part of this is that Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and Iran and a few other countries, Nigeria, have been threatening, or not only threatening, they have been actually selling their oil in the BRICS, if you like, pool of currencies. They've not been using the dollar to sell their oil. But in fact, Saudi Arabia has not renewed its promise with the United States to, or its contract or whatever they had, to sell the oil only in US dollars. So the US dollar, the petrodollar, as it's known as the reserve currency, is in severe danger. Now, China has been going at having trying to take down, if you like, the petrodollar for many years now. Many years. There was a documentary, I should have found, I'll see if I can find it later on, where China tried to introduce its own currency, not the yuan, but it's a new currency separate from any country's currency, a unified global singular currency, to essentially become the new reserve currency and the petrodollar, petrol currency, to sell oil in that currency. Combine, they wanted to get Russia on board. They wanted to obviously get all the Middle Eastern countries on board, but America had a tight grip, and that never really went anywhere. But the grip of America on the petrodollar has been slipping for a lot of years. And to boot, the fact that America has been using its own oil reserves in order to keep their own gasoline prices down, in order to keep the petrol prices at the petrol stations or at the gas stations low, or at a low enough so that the Americans don't start literally tearing them limb from limb. Combination of all of that has put the United States in a very bad state of affairs, and the United States has been weak they've been weak on doing the very thing that they should have done just now. Biden should have done this to Venezuela. In fact, Donald Trump in the first term should have done this to Venezuela. America has got to get its mojo back, baby. It's got to get back to business, back to the way it was in the 80s and 70s. You go, you destroy them, you take out their military, their uncooperative leader, and you get the shit back on track. Get that oil flowing, get that money flowing, make sure that oil is being sold in dollars, because that's exactly what's going to happen now. And that is exactly what America should have done for years. This is what Britain should have done. People, you guys think that the British just magically became rich. There is something to be said about the pillaging part of an empire. When they go around and graping and pillaging, well, the pillaging part is really, really helpful. And Britain hasn't been pillaging for a very long time. Hence why Europe is in such a god-awful state that it is. Their treasury is basically running out, and they can't tax the people to death anymore. There's only a few drops left in that particular cow that they're trying to milk, which is their citizens, taxation of their citizens to death. That isn't really where your country gets majority of its money from. I mean, you've been rich not because you just are such great, swell taxpayers. You're rich because your countries did some despicable shit for us to be rich, and I want that back. I'm not even hating. That's the part that most people don't get. I'm not hating. I live in England. I want the pillaging back. Send out your military and start pillaging some more, please. We need more pillaging. Is there a particular part of the world that is not currently occupied that we can go and pillage the natives and take over again? Can we get a bit of colonialism back? Because we got to get back to business, people. We can't just keep paying these unaffordable tax hikes. You can't tax us to death. We're eventually just gonna leave. I mean, I'm a foreigner. You'd be glad if I left, but even your own natives are gonna leave. Your millionaires are running away like crazy. So, the pillaging. Let us bring back the pillaging, and the pillaging is going to begin very well with the United States. Oh, damn it. I'm on the wrong thing here. Okay, here we are. Now, I will show you what happens when the United States doesn't get its way. And this is in a book called The Economic Hitman. The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I highly recommend for you guys to go and look it up. I've been telling you people. Now, I know some of you are extremely smart. I think I'm talking to my particular audience is probably either read this or is going to read this. Hold on. Where is it? Let me see if I can just get the damn bloody image of the book up in here. Okay. It's a little bit small, but you know what I mean. Okay? Go get this book. Go get this audiobook. It's available on the YouTubes. I believe you can find it on the YouTubes. You can actually, if you search on the HAFEZ TV Rumble account, you may or may not come across it. I'm not saying anything, but you may or may not find on the HAFEZ TV Rumble account the entire book uploaded. Let me see. Do I actually have it on the Rumble account? Did I upload it? No, I did not. But I could upload it. You could find it on the Rumble account of the HAFEZ TV, but I'm not going to put it on YouTube because YouTube is it's got issues. But anyway, it's available on YouTube. It's available in many places. Go find this book. This book will explain everything to you. You will know why America did what it did, and it had to do what it had to do. And this is John Perkins talking about it. This is the author himself, the economic hitman.
But our real job was to identify countries with resources our corporations covet, like oil, and then arrange huge loans to those countries from the World Bank or one of the sister organizations. The money, however, never went to the country. It went to our own corporations to build big infrastructure projects in that country or those countries. Things like power plants, industrial parks, highways, infrastructure that would benefit a few wealthy families who own the industries and commercial centers, as well as our corporations that made huge profits. But in the long run, the majority of the people would suffer because money would be diverted from health, education, and other social services to try to pay off.
I want to point out that John Perkins is a bit of a lefty cuckold. He's an environmentalist leftist cuckold. So, if I were to say, fuck them, we need the oil, I don't give a shit, let's get in there, boys. That would be my take. Now, that may be a cruel take. That may not be a popular take with some of you, limp-wristed lefties out there. But my take is fuck them. We need the money. We need the oil. We need the cheap oil for energy. We need cheap electricity. We need cheap gas prices. And I don't care. I don't care. You know that pillaging part of an empire? Yeah, that pillaging part wasn't necessarily worried about the natives. The natives did not make a lot of dent in that decision making. They were not at the table when the committee was actually voting on the pillaging. They just were pillaged. So pillage away, people. Pillage away. Now, I'm gonna let's let it play for a few more minutes.
Off the interest on the loans, and in the end, the principal couldn't be bought down. So we'd return to the country and say, hey, since you can't pay your debts, sell your resource, oil, whatever, real cheap to our corporations without any environmental or social regulations, or let us build a military base on your soil, or vote with us against Cuba or whatever in the next United Nations election. And in that way, we really took control of these countries in many different ways. And we'd also say, privatize
a lot of your resources. The funny thing is, the British started doing that without the economic hitman. That's how insane Britain has become. They privatized their natural resources. Water is a private commodity now in the United Kingdom. That's how insane the United Kingdom has become. I'll be honest. I think they got it wrong. You see, the economic hitmans were supposed to be for other countries, not for Britain, for other nations, those third world shitholes that we need the oil and gold and platinum from. What are you doing, Britain? Why are you privatizing your water, you insane mother suckers? But one thing I wanted to quickly say is that they would essentially say to them, you can't pay your debt. You have to give us something for the debt, for the money that we've loaned you. And so it wasn't pillaging in the more conventional sense, but pillaging in a more nice. It's nice pillaging. It's pillaging, but nice pillaging, and we've got to get back to that. We've got to get this mofo economy back on that track. Let's get some pillaging back, people.
As your public sector businesses, your electric.
Oh yeah. Here's another thing as well. Perkins is an environmentalist. I told you he's a lefty cuckold. He's an environmentalist as well, without any environmental regulations. He's all about that environmental shit as well. That's another shit. We gotta expunge that from our society. Expunge these environmentalist dipshits. They're the ones ruining most of it. These vegan and environmentalists. By the way, I just want to say some salutations to the chat. Thank you so much, Lieutenant. Fun with Dirts, JK, and Peace, and that is it. I think. And I've got a couple of people in Kick. We got Sensible, and OOFI. Salutations and Happy New Year. Damn it! Sorry.
Utilities, your water and sewage systems, and sell them to our investors at cut rate prices. And in a few cases where presidents of countries didn't buy into these deals, that people we called jackals would go in and overthrow the governments or assassinate them. And, you know, the United States has admitted time and again to taking out presidents like Mossadegh of Iran, Arbenz of Guatemala, Allende of Chile, and many, many others. So it really was a hit, and it was done under the guise of economic development.
Right. So we would.
Okay. Now
come in and say, here's, you can do it.
What had happened to other presidents who, and the presidents of these countries all knew what had happened to other presidents who hadn't accepted our deal. So basically, they knew that they and their friends could get rich off these deals, or they could end up losing their jobs and maybe their heads in the process. And
right. So integrity was not the integrity was the worst thing that could.
I was hoping that he would mention the third element in this, which he may do later on, but this is a 33-minute video, which I'm not interested in watching. The third portion of this act is that, which is what happened with Venezuela. If the economic hitmen are not successful, if the jackals are unsuccessful, the third and final... Oh, sorry, guys. Let me just sit up a little bit. I'm a bit squashed down here. Yeah, the third and final stage is the United States military goes in. Ooh, gee, what happened on the 2nd of January? Yeah, that's right. So obviously Maduro was not going to be swayed by the economic hitmen. I presume the jackals failed. They couldn't, get rid of him that way. I don't know how or why. I don't even know if they tried. But nevertheless, whether they even send in the jackals or not, the jackals most definitely have failed. He was secure enough. I mean, this was the case with Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi, that they had such a good security, especially Saddam Hussein with lookalikes and so on and so forth. He had like doubles and all that stuff, and a lot of internal loyal security with him. So then what they do is, in the case of Iraq, obviously the military just, American military full on went in. In the case of Gaddafi in Libya, they managed to ferment a coup, essentially a military or a civilian uprising, an internal civil war, and they got rid of him that way. With Maduro, it seems different, shall we say, from the usual steps. Now, maybe they didn't want to capture him and they ended up capturing him. I don't know, but usually these guys don't end up going for trials. They don't end up standing on trial. They end up, admittedly, no, Saddam Hussein, they didn't. They did him. It's just that the Iraqis did it themselves. They didn't, or at least they got the Iraqis to do it for them instead of they couldn't. I guess they found him alive, so they did have this show trial, this kangaroo court, if you will, for Saddam, and then they him. And now Maduro may or may not face that because he's getting tried in the United States, although the United States does have capital punishment as well. So they do have that, but I don't know what's going to happen with him being tried in the United States. That's going to be quite interesting to see. But, as I said, the final stage is the U.S. military. I don't know how the jackals were not able to take him out when were they ever called? Maybe they were never called. I don't know. But it seems that the jackals obviously failed. Economic hitmen failed. And this was the final stage. This is the 3 steps the United States will take if you threaten the petrodollar. You guys really need to get with the program here. Everybody thinks that the world has somehow become magically different from the 1980s, 1970s, 1960s. That just because you have some trans testicle as like head of your, I don't know, 7-star general or some shit, that the American policy on the reserve currency has somehow changed, somehow stopped being what it is. No, it has not. The American policy on the reserve currency is if you threaten the petrodollar, we will send in the economic hitmen, we will send in the jackals, and then we'll send in the military. Those are the steps, and it's going to get played out with Iran at some stage as well. If the Iranian people which essentially you could say at this stage that is the jackal. Those are the jackals of the system. Although, again, 100% on board with it. Fuck those Mueller sacks of shit. I hope they capture every one of them and hang them by their testes until they dry in the sun. I don't care what happens to the Mueller regime. I want them gone. I want them gone now. But the fact of the matter is that the American system and the American political might and the military might works in these ways. Iran is the third largest oil reserves in the world. Iran has been dealing in other currencies because they're sanctioned anyway. They can't buy and sell in dollars, but the mullahs have been pocketing most of that money that they've been able to sell to China or any other countries as far as oil is concerned. The people are suffering. There's hyperinflation, literally, but that's instigated anyway. That's inserted. Hyperinflation is not naturally caused. It is an inserted through the monetary system. Iran's money is essentially shit. It's worthless. You might as well use it as what do you call fireplace paper. You might as well burn it in your fireplace. It's cheaper. It is worthless, absolutely worthless. Most people actually deal in dollars in the country anyway. Those who can get a hold of it. HAFEZ TV would like many viewers come in. Thank you. Okay. Who is this? Fun with Dirts. Fun with Dirts is saying they turned all the lights out so they couldn't get to his panic room. So he couldn't get to his panic room. I don't know. I mean, you would think Maduro in his compound would have emergency generators that would kick in. I mean, why would turning the lights out wouldn't actually be a thing? I don't think that was the reason. I think it wasn't about him getting to a panic room. It was probably more about him getting to some kind of plane to get away. I don't know. I don't know why turning off the lights in this day and age would even matter. They have night vision goggles. People have night vision glasses. There's night vision technology is up the wazoo. It's like civilian. Any civilian can buy very good high definition, high vision, night vision equipment. So the president or the dictator of Venezuela couldn't get a hold of some night vision goggles that you can buy off Amazon. I don't know. Have you seen that Bulgarian princess yet? Bulgarian princess? No. Let me know what that is if you wish to jump on. I'm going to just play one more little clip. And this goes to exactly what Trump is saying it, by the way. They're not even like sugarcoating it anymore. This is why I'm saying I'm all on board with this. Yeah. I'm on board with all that. I'm on board with all of that shit. I condone this action because America F yeah, and let's get the shit back to let's get America and the West back on top again. What is going on? We've been limp-wristed. We've been led by pussies for so many years that we think we're still pussies. Here's a man who's going to show you America is, and its best days are still way in front. They are not behind them.
Running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly.
Yeah, you remember what the economic hitman said? They're going to come and build a lot of infrastructure and then tell you, if you don't have the money to pay for it, you're just going to have to give us some oil. Guess what's going to happen here?
They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but
they'll be reimbursed for what they're doing. So the oil companies are going to come and pour billions of dollars into rebuilding the oil infrastructure and the refinery infrastructure of Venezuela, and they'll be reimbursed. We'll make sure they're well looked after, lads. It's all right. We'll take care of those boys. They're going to be literally swimming in money. It'll be like Scrooge McDuck when he dives into his safe. That's what the ExxonMobil is going to be doing in a few years. That's what BP and Shell are going to be doing in a few years. They'll be literally diving into a giant safe of gold coins.
It's going to be paid, and we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of.
Well, that part, I'll be honest, not Mr. Trump. I respect you, I love you, and I thank you, and I hope Britain, in fact, I hope you come and take Keir Starmer and put him in the same place as Maduro. I'm not joking. Take the mullahs of Iran, take Maduro, Bashar al-Assad, well, I mean, he's in Russia, and put them all in one cell with P. Diddy. I'm on board with that message. If that is the way to go. In fact, I saw that. I saw an X post just a few minutes ago, which blew my mind. Oh shit! Let me see. Can I? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw that, and I personally will endorse any action that President Trump takes if he decides to put the mullahs of Iran and Keir Starmer all in the same cell as this one. And the caption, by the way, read, let me see, it says, "I got a new type of oil for you, big boy." That was the caption. And by the way, in the comment section of that particular post, there are so much worse things. There are so many worse images than the one I'm showing you. That's the cleanest version I can possibly show you on this one. Oh, AI, you are a bad boy. AI should be banned. AI should be banned, and yet at the same time, it is the greatest invention of mankind. It should be banned. It's terrible and great, all in one go. Banksy, you opening a panel? Yes. Based, I'll be opening a panel in a few minutes. Hang in there. The Diddy dance. History reset. What are you doing here, you sack of dirt? You're constantly undermining my show, and yet you're still here. Why are you here? That's the question I'm asking. I don't like you, History Reset. You can kiss my ass. But anyway, now then, let us show you what the left are doing. The left are losing their shit, as always. This is in front of the American embassy in the United Kingdom. There's plenty of footage of the Americans in New York as well losing their collective mind, but this is in the United Kingdom. Where is it? Where's Diddy is at the military base jail in South New Jersey, the same place. Yes, exactly. Okay, here, let's listen to the left.
For the self-determination of the Venezuelan people, they will do the same to anyone who dares to challenge the imperialist interest.
Yes, you. We want them to do that to you. Could please the U.S. military come and take this shit brains, these retards out of this country? Can you please do something about these retards?
The interest of the state.
These lefties who care about people are literally caping for a dictator. This is what I mean about the left has no moral compass, has no moral standards, and has no principles. These pieces of shit are out protesting why you got rid of a absolute dictator that is starving its people. And they'll do the same for Iran too. If Iran overthrows these sacks of shit mullahs, they'll be out protesting. And if America helps in any way, they'll be out protesting why they got rid of those mullahs after 47 years of brutal dictatorship and Sharia law in Iran and Islamist governance. And these pieces of shit will absolutely be out there protesting it. Now, despite what the left cuckolds and leftist morons, leftards say about Venezuela and what happened in Venezuela through Trump, this is how the Venezuelans reacted to that. You know, the people who actually have to suffer under the hands of Maduro. Please. Look at them. Look how upset they are about American imperialism. I didn't know about this. I did not know about this. I did not see this. I do not condone this message. No, I do. I very much condone this message. I 100% condone this message. Everything about this is hilarious, except that bit, because some apparently some civilians did die. A lot of military. This is Chile. This is Chile. Venezuelans in Chile, or I guess, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the Venezuelans are not quite as broken up about Trump's actions as the leftards in Europe and North America are. Save some retarded stories for panel. One more. This is a Venezuelan telling you what he thinks of the situation. It's good to listen to the people of the region.
For what he did in Venezuela. They say he bombed and kidnapped our president. No. Let me be clear. That man was never our president. He is a dictator. We didn't vote for him. Our elections were stolen. And when we protested, our kids were sent to prison. Minors were tortured. Girls were forced to prostitute themselves in prisons just to get food, to get a piece of bread. And where were all of you then? Where were all of you, liberals? Where were all of you? Where were all of you? You said nothing. You did nothing. But now you suddenly care about international law? I mean, now you all talk about human rights? Maduro didn't lead Venezuela. He kidnapped an entire country. So, no, Trump didn't kidnap anyone. No, he did not. He removed our kidnapper. And for that, we're thankful. You can divide politics all you want. But don't tell Venezuelans, do not tell Venezuelans how to feel about being free from a dictatorship.
Exactly. That is, by the way, that I would like to say that gentleman, although I agree with everything he says and I congratulate him, he is a fruity Venezuelan. He is possibly a do-funny, as some would say. He is certainly on the rainbow color train on that one. But nevertheless, good on that man. Congratulations, and good for standing up and actually talking about how Venezuelans actually think about this nonsense. So yeah, I sent you a couple of things on IG. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute, IG. I'm gonna look up. Oh, wait a minute. Well, you sent it to the wrong IG. Unfortunately, you need to send it to the HAFEZ in London IG. There, fun facts, fun with things, fun with flags. Hold on. Okay, now I am digressing a little bit. But I still think that this is worth showing. This is worth seeing. Hold on a minute. Is there a way I can actually shit, this guy's posted a lot of shit. How is it? These people post so much in such a small... My God, no wonder they have millions of followers. They are just posting 24/7. Dear God. Okay, fine. I'll have to figure out... Oh, Christ, how am I gonna do this? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the slight downtime. I just need you to see this. I think it's worth for you guys to see this. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Why is it so... Crying out loud. I can't even... I can't do anything with it. Why can't I do anything with it? Okay, I'm going to just share it. Screw it. It's just too damn funny.
It's so-called must be on all this ice on my wrist. I am the captain now. Ayo, bitch, give me that tax money. On conduct affair businesses. One day if you study hard enough, you can be just like me.
At the Leering Center. You just need to get to your Leering Center.
Send those taxes my way. I just bought another man.
Okay. That's terrible. That's terrible. I do not condone this. This is a terrible thing. Free Maduro. Free. From the river to the sea, let the Maduro be free. Okay, guys, let's kick off the shit. It's getting late as well. Let's kick off the... Let's go, boys. There's the link. Now, I'm going to have to... where are we? Let me see if I... Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. It seems my connection got dropped for a moment. Let's see. We've got Based Welsh back in his house. Big up, Based. Happy New Year to you, my good friend. How are you?
Not bad. Can you hear me all right there?
Yes, I can. You're all good. Shoot. Tell me. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
I mean, have you seen the latest Trump meme?
Which one?
Where the Venezuelan president was talking shit, saying, "Come and get me, coward! Come and get me!" And like 3 weeks later,
oh yeah,
the bald eagle.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
they used 150 aircraft during that operation.
Yeah. It was a major operation, and yes, they did use. Sorry, you can hear me, right? Yeah. They used the whole. It was a whole series. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people are like, "Oh, they just walked in there." It was like a 80-minute or 80-minute operation, something like that. The whole thing. Well, there goes Based. Based just dropped. Shit. I think Based. This Restream has issues with mobile phones. It's not a great. It doesn't have a great mobile phone version. if you're not actually on a PC, I think this thing isn't great with mobiles. Big up, Base. You're back, mate?
Yeah, I'm off the Wi-Fi now. Hopefully that'll sort it out. But I had problems the last time we used Restream.
Yeah, the thing is, Restream isn't great with mobile phones, I think. Excuse me. I think it doesn't hold itself too well with mobiles. Hold on, we got a new gentleman, Timothy Jones. Just give me a sec. Let me vet Mr. Timothy. I don't know who Timothy is. Timothy? Oh my God! Yes, Mr.
I've been
Jones,
on here.
I do know where
I've been
you
on
are.
here.
Of course.
I've been on here.
Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year. Yes, I've seen you. I remember from the last time you're from the all the players from Chaotic and Bob and the boys. How are you, Tim? Happy New Year to you, sir.
Man, just I'm a piggyback off base real quick just for a second. You can't talk shit near the coast. You're gonna get grabbed up. Caracas is right on the coast. They didn't even have to go look for him. We used to have a quote in the military if we ever did some dirt. The quote was, "You're gonna have to look for me." They didn't have to look for him. He was, bro. They could have threw a rock probably to where he was from the boat that they all got off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they walked him to the aircraft. No one was running to get him out of there. They walked his ass. Easy.
Why would he not prepare for these things? He knew this coming. I think he didn't. I think it was arrogant. I think he didn't think it was going to happen.
He's a cartel guy. Why would he think anybody can get to him?
Exactly. I think that's what it is. Because you know what I said about the jackals and essentially United States assassins.
Banksy, before I get cut off, why the fuck do you use Restream? I've been on live panels for fucking about 8 years, right? And I never get the problem that I get.
Because Restream gives me free unlimited streams, while StreamYard only gives me like several hours a month. I think it's like 20 hours a month.
It'll cut me off again, mate.
I know. It's get a computer. That's what you should do. Get a computer.
Hey, remember we were talking about Israel attacking Iran? This is about to come full circle. If we do this in Iran, it's going to have much different consequences.
Oh my God. The thing is, America, I think, has learned its lesson from the Iraq stuff and Afghanistan, the debacles in those places. They know that they can't pull off this kind of thing in the Middle East and the country remains stable. Now, I think Venezuela will remain stable, surprisingly, because of the make of the people, because of the religion of the people. I think it will be far more stable than Iraq will. You're not going to get like southern jihadi factions jumping out of the woodworks in Venezuela. Whilst, I mean, well, it remains to be seen. Of course, it remains to be seen.
I think I'm having some trouble on my end. Hold on a second, or is it just the stream?
Are you breaking up? Let me stop my sharing. Maybe that will help the overall system. I don't know. It seems everybody's pissed. Restream.
Can you hear me? I lost you for a second. How fast? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me? Hello? Can the chat hear me? Anyone in the chat? Am I still good? Am I still live? Christ. This
it glitched for a second.
Yeah. No, it's my chat. I'm checking the stream on my phone. That seems to be fine. On the old phone here, seems to be all good. The other thing I got to check is Restream on an Apple phone. Maybe Apple phones are better than. Are you on a phone or are you on a PC?
I'm on my laptop.
Okay. No, that should be
I always
fine.
stream from a laptop. It's just better. It's better.
Yeah, it's better quality. So yeah, you were saying that these guys were. I mean, to be honest with you, I think he was extremely naive. If he thinks that they weren't going to eventually come for him. I think it's a Saddam Hussein. It's happened. Saddam Hussein, Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. They just become too full of themselves. They think they're untouchable, and they lose sight that they are not untouchable. That they are. Sorry, hold on. I can't chew gum and type at the same time. They genuinely think they're untouchable, because I suspect that the United States did send in the jackals. The jackals couldn't take him out, because the jackals usually, what they do is they infiltrate their closest trustees. You know what I mean? The jackals essentially, because quite often these people are taken out by their own bodyguards, by their own security. So it's not this case of like some, what do you call it, some sniper from like 500 yards away, with a massive scope, and he has to worry about the Coriolis effect and all that shit. Those are movie shit. The reality is they usually pay off some security guard who slips in a suitcase bomb, briefcase bomb into his helicopter, and then bam, the helicopter goes kaboom. That's majority of the assassination type of things that happen. But the fact is that I don't think they could have got to him. I think they weren't able to get to his closest trusted people, just like they couldn't with Gaddafi, they couldn't with Saddam. And so the military had to go in, and they took him out. But on the other flip side of that is also, I think he thought America is too weak in the world, and they're never going to actually pull off something like this. They're never going to come in with the full military force and just take him. I don't think he ever dreamt such a scenario. That's what I mean. These people become too arrogant, and I love it. I personally think the 1980s, possibly 1970s America is back. That's the America I freaking want. I want America. Fuck yeah.
I don't know. I think there's some sentiment of it, but I think our IQ collectively as a nation's dropped too low to ever get that back. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but you can strive. They say if you want to land on the moon, aim for the sun.
Right. No, sure. Definitely talking with all my veteran buddies, we all had the same sentiment of cool operation, cool extraction, but I also think it sets a bad precedent. And I'm not trying to say, oh, don't do it, I'm against it. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna go around sucker punching people, eventually somebody makes plans to sucker punch you. That's all I'm saying. That's just how the world works.
Yeah, but that's how America's been operating anyway. It's always been under the impression that yes, there's the next guy is gonna, might come with a stick. You just gotta make sure you got the biggest stick in the valley. And America's got the biggest stick in the valley, man. Come on. They're swinging. They're swinging that dick hard.
For now.
I think for the foreseeable future, who is even coming? Who could even come close to the military might of the United States? The budget alone is 3 times of the next guy.
It's not about so much military might. It's about, if we had to fight China and Russia at the same time, it wouldn't be ideal. Let me put it that way.
You think, China aside, you think Russia can't take Ukraine? Russia is caught in the shit with just a little Ukraine. Now I'm not saying that Russia. Come on. They've been there 5 years now. The World War II didn't last this long. World War II ended before it was like 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. These guys are stuck in a quagmire. They're stuck in the shit. They can't. Putin is caught up in that. It's like a marsh pit for it.
You know why? He doesn't want to use any new equipment. He used all his Cold War stuff to get rid of it. That's why.
But if he wants to actually get a resolution, I don't think he's capable of. I think he underestimated what the Ukrainians are going to put up. He thought they're going to fold. They've got a cross-dressing comedian as a president. He thought this guy's going to fold like a pack of cards. He's going to beg Russia for some kind of settlement, and Russia is just going to say, okay, we want this and this and this, and he's going to say yes, and it'll all be over. And I got to give it to that cross-dresser. He may wear high heels, but the man's got a set between his legs. He held on to his guns. And although, he threw in a whole bunch of Ukrainian boys into the meat grinder, but he's held his ground. He's held enough to bring Putin to the table and say, no, I've got demands too. You know what I mean? At that level, at least.
Yeah.
So that he's not completely bitching. He's not completely pussying out in front of Putin. He can at least hold his head up high and say, I can make some demands too, because you couldn't get what you wanted in the way you thought.
Right.
On that level, I gotta give him some respect. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's mostly the European Union that's poured in like a ton of money and weapons and stuff to try and hold
And
these
us.
guys. And of course,
And
America. Yeah, huge amount of money. I mean, literally, you guys could have funded your military and your healthcare for the next 12 years without with the money that you paid to Ukraine. It's crazy. But either way, I don't think Russia is all that. I don't think. I mean, short of the nukes, the big boys, Russia, when it comes to actual military engagement and creating military operations like the way US just did, I don't think they're going to be able to pull that kind of stuff off. Now, China, I don't think they can do it if the war is purely fought in the air. But with boots on the ground, I'm talking. Let's say China goes into Taiwan, and then we're looking at a war for Taiwan, essentially. I don't think China can take America in the air. But hold on, something. Hello. No. What the hell? 1 second. I apologize. My headset got mashed. I pulled a cable and I fucked it up. Bear with me. Bear with me. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Do bear with us, and we'll be back to the regularly scheduled program. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. So as I said, I don't know about boots on the ground. That might be a different, because China does have a lot of manpower, in the numbers alone. But a lot of that will be taken out from the air. And I don't think they can match America in the air. I don't think so.
What about the Navy? What about fighting both navies at the same time?
As in what? The Russians and the Chinese navies?
The Russians have the subs, the Chinese have the ships.
Yeah, but the thing is, if America ends up in that level of war, then they're not going to be alone. They're going to have NATO with them. So we're looking at the Brits. We're looking at some of the other NATO nations. Although don't get me wrong, it's not like, I mean, they'll Canada will send out like a fishing boat, like a dude with a fishing rod or some shit, or a Mountie with a shotgun. But the rest of the Brits have got pretty decent subs. They're not too bad. The French,
Air Force too,
and Air Force, yeah, pretty decent Air Force. But although not on the scale of winning this, but as assists, I think and believe it or not, Turkey is actually a NATO nation. Turkey would have to make a very hard and this long thought decision about whether they are going to help America or Russia, because they're kind of chummies with Russia and Iran, but because of ideologically, but actual militarily, at least as far as their signatory to the NATO. So any NATO nation that's at war with Russia and China, Turkey has to get involved. So that's going to be interesting for them. I still think America will take them. I honestly think they would. But that's not something we have to really worry about. I think this situation, which I think it was Marco Rubio, one of them said, peace through strength. That's how the world is run. The Russians, the Chinese are looking at this going, okay, America's not effing around anymore. They're back to their, this isn't some withering old man like Biden or some cuckolded lefty like Obama that's gonna keep begging us not to fight. This dude is gonna do shit. He's the kind who would. He's the kind who would. Even if we are bluffing, he ain't bluffing. He would press that button. Like he said to Kim Jong-un, I've got a red button too, and it's a bigger one than yours.
Yeah.
They're measuring buttons. So yeah, no, I still think America's is got it. But as far as what I said in regards to the petrodollar and all of that, what are your thoughts on the analysis on the fact that is the true reason why they went in? I mean, that's
100%. I think we're gonna either do one or two things with the oil. It's definitely gonna be a revenue, but it's gonna be, to me, I just think we should just sell it as is. Don't even refine. Just use it as an economic boost. We don't really need to bring it over to our country. We could just sell it to other people. I mean, there's no, we're gonna refine it and do all this on you. No, that costs too much. Just sell the crude shit. You know what I mean? Like sell the kilos raw. Don't sell the dime bags. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not chopping up crack. I'm selling it straight.
I'm not cooking anything. I'm just selling it as is.
This is how I got it. You can do whatever you want with it, but if you expect me to go to the DM and buy a bunch of baggies and bag everything, I'm not doing all that. No. I'm selling kilos, my friend.
Just buy this brick. Just give me cash.
Buy this brick.
Do your thing.
You do what you need to do with it. I've already made my money. You know what I mean? I can look at this through an unemotional lens, like a drug dealer. Like, oh, I know what this is. We're the plug. Okay, you know.
Do it, man. So, that's awesome. But yeah, I agree. I mean, the Europeans, they're gonna come begging. The Europeans are hurting hard right now with the whole Russia thing, because the Germans had a pipeline and all of that. They literally planned their next couple of decades based around this pipeline and how they're going to, their economy is going to revolve around it. The French were a little bit more smarter. They developed some nuclear power plants, so they're not hurting as much. The British are screwed. We are getting hit hard. Our energy prices are due to go up now in this next few weeks, and we are already the highest in Europe, if not in the world, as far as fuel prices are concerned. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the price of just keeping the electricity on and keeping the gas. This. I'm not even talking about petrol. I'm not even talking about gas in your car. I'm talking about gas in your house to heat the house.
In the home, yeah.
And electricity in the home. That kind of shit is in ridiculous prices right now. And water. Water is privatized. It costs a fortune just to keep your friggin' tap. It's insane. Britain has become a shithole.
Man.
Anyone with any kind of money is just getting the F out. They are just running. Because they just
Can I suggest a place for you to go? Because I just spent a month in Belgrade in Serbia. And
Belgrade,
it was
nice.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I've spent a lot of time in Europe. This was probably the best time I've ever had. And I lived there for almost total 3.5 years.
Really?
Not consecutively, but breaking up. I'm definitely going back. I had so much fun over there. It was, even though the protests and all this stuff is going on, I saw a country that still has its culture.
Yes.
They're definitely going to be buying some of this Venezuelan oil. I know that for sure. Yeah. Tarus. Oh, Tarus, come up. Tarus, come up.
Big up Tarus. Okay, let me post the link. It'll be interesting to see what Tarus has to say about this. We just empowered the Russian by taking the oil. Our energy prices are about to go up everywhere. What do you mean? How does that even make sense? If you're using the oil to essentially pay for all the energy or generate energy with it, then how is your prices going to go up? I don't know. We'll see. If Tarusa wants to jump on and give us his full take. I'm more than happy to hear that out. That seems counterintuitive. You'd think that it's supposed to bring the energy prices down if Venezuela is actually producing more oil. Admittedly, Europe. The problem with Europe is not only the fact that the Russian thing is screwing us, is we've got governments who are so stupidly hell-bent on this green energy bullshit. They're also screwing us that way as well, because they don't want to open coal power plants. They don't even want to open new gas or petroleum power plants. They want to just like cut out fossil fuels and go to some bullshit windmill and solar and bollocks. Like a windmill has some potential in Britain because our weather is crap, but solar is a non-starter here. It's like in a country
Where you getting it from?
yes, use solar in a country that's dark 11 months of the year.
What's the year? Where you getting it? You made your own sun? Jeez.
This is what I mean. It's crazy. So I don't think solar is a non-starter in this country. Venezuela was selling Russian oil to the rest of the world. That might stop now. Or yeah, we might stop that. What do you mean they were selling Russian oil? So you mean essentially Russia was selling its oil to Venezuela and Venezuela? Yeah, but the fact is that Russia was also selling to India and a few other countries. That's where the Europeans are getting their oil from right now. The Russian oil is filtered through India and other places, but they put a markup on that. They mark up the price anyway. So we're buying extra over the rate prices, marked up, hiked up prices, because we were buying them from a dodgy dealer. Second, the guy with the trench coat, going, I got 1,000 barrels of oil here, man. You want some of this? You want some good shit here, man? Good shit. So if first of all, Venezuela has got the largest oil reserves in the world. So if they up their output through America, encourage the Americans running it, then that's gonna bring prices down. That's gonna bring global prices down, or it should do. And the Europeans are certainly going to benefit from buying directly from Venezuela rather than having to buy hiked up prices from Russia that's been sold to Venezuela back to Europe or back to the United States. Either way, I don't know. I don't think that's. I'm not on board with that. This is Elliot. Toulouse did not jump on. Toulouse or either did not jump on or does not wish to jump on. Actually, let me see. Is this restream again? Yeah, I think this is the right link. So yeah, anyone who wants to jump on, by all means, come on down. Wait. What's he saying? That's the only reason I can think of for a price increase. Again, I don't know, Elliot. I don't think that would be the case. Although I'm still finding it difficult to believe that Russia, although it's not a major thing, but Russia selling its oil to Venezuela for Venezuela to sell that on, whilst Venezuela is actually the oil-rich nation in the world. So it'd be more likely that they would sell it on. There would be people like, as I say, India, Pakistan, other nations like that would be happy to do that. That's what they're doing mostly with Iranian oil as well, because Iranian oil is obviously on the major sanctions. But I think the Iranians mostly sell it to China anyway. So they're not really worried about selling it to other parties. The Saudis, did you know that the Saudis have made a deal with China? They're going to open 2 massive refineries in China, where they would just ship their crude directly to China, and China would just refine it right there and then. So they don't, like you said, they're just buying the bricks, and the Chinese are going to baggy it.
It's down operating costs. I don't have to do the work for you.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting to me was the fact that apparently the Saudis and the Emiratis, because I thought that those two nations were solid in their commitment to selling their oil in euros, in dollars. Like they had this massive decades-long agreement with the United States that they would never sell their oil in any other currency other than the dollar, and that's how other nations were essentially coerced into the same currency through the Saudis and the Middle Easterners. But I've heard recently that in fact Saudi has not only been selling it in dollars, but also they've been dipping into other currencies, the yuan and various other internal currencies in amongst the BRICS nations. You see, this is what I mean. This whole BRICS
Why
thing,
wouldn't they though?
Well, because again, as I said, they had a deal with the United States. This would undermine the petrodollar. This would undermine the reserve currency of the United States. You guys got to realize, United States, if they lose the grip on the reserve currency, the United States would economically implode. It would be destroyed. It would it would be devastating to the United States.
Well, some people think that that's going to happen eventually.
Well, yeah, some people are saying that because the debt is so high that it is it's simply implausible that the United States was ever going to get this thing under control. It is a debt-based society, and that they're never really. I mean, this. By the way, the various nations and their debts, like these they say, oh, this nation has. These are manufactured to never be paid off.
Right.
No country will ever pay off this debt.
Their national debt. It's impossible.
This is this is built. The system, the whole system is built on the fact that they have to have this debt. So that's never going away. But it doesn't have to be that much. I think these trillions. I don't know how much it is in the United States. It's some ridiculous amount of money. It's.
I saw the clock counter from New York City the other day. I can't remember what it was, but it just it didn't even seem like a real number.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, interesting, man.
Let me.
Strange times, my man. Strange times.
I know. $38 trillion.
Okay.
It's $38 trillion, and it's just cranking up every day as well. It's not like it's stopping. That's insane. That is insane. I mean, there's not enough. There's not enough resources on this planet to pay off $38 trillion. Like, you couldn't dig up enough gold and silver. And like, if you tried to sell every piece of gold and silver in the world, it wouldn't be that much. That's why they had to come off the gold standard, because they're just like, it's unsustainable. We can't have it on this. This is why they've gone into like bullshit fiat currency, which is fake money. And they're going to go into even more fake money, which is going to be digital currency. So, you know what I mean? That's how things are going to flow. Let me see.
And then somebody's going to hack it and move decimal points over to make themselves rich.
I mean, there'll be all sorts of fuckeries like that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Tarus. Woo, woo, woo. Tarus is here as a substitute because he can't get his fix on CT tonight. CT's not live, and he needs his online fix. Go on, Tarus.
What's up, guys?
Lay it down for us.
Drop some knowledge, my man. Drop some knowledge.
This got HAFEZ, I'm a rock combat veteran, and this got this written all over again. Remember, first, this was supposed to be about fentanyl, which Venezuela doesn't traffic any fentanyl to the United States of America. So if it was about fentanyl, we should have had a military intervention in China. We didn't do that. We should have had a military intervention in Mexico. We shouldn't do that. Timothy knows, HAFEZ, let me remind you, Trump started the global trade war off with a state of emergency because Canada supposedly was having fentanyl flowing through our border. No military intervention in Canada. But Venezuela, a country that supplies the US with no fentanyl, all of a sudden. Then we started bombing alleged drug boats with no due process, no nothing, right? We just decided to just make up, just like the war on terror, we decided to just call everybody terrorists. We just literally created criminals overnight. Then, HAFEZ, the thing was about narco-terrorism. Let me remind you, HAFEZ, not even a couple of months ago, Trump just pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was a drug cartel trafficking drugs in our country. He pardoned him. So this idea about this being about drugs, BS. And then out of nowhere, oil tankers, right? And then then their justification is some crap that happened 40 years ago. Some crap that happened 40 years ago that literally even the hardest of conservative war hawks had already been got over. No, not Trump, though. He brought it back. Right? Timothy would tell you this started too with the whole Panama Canal. Remember that, Timothy?
Darien Gap too.
All of a sudden the Panama Canal was a big ass problem. No, And so now what you see, Hafez, is he's doing this crap, and in the same breath, he just threatened Colombia. He just threatened Greenland again. He just threatened Cuba, right? And the reason why I posted that this oil, that the prices aren't going to come down, if anything, we're going to see a bump, is because that's exactly what happened in 2003 when we invaded Iraq. Right? One of the underpinning things was we were supposed to control the oil fields and all this other crap. No, Hafez, you know that didn't happen. Right? And on top of that, Venezuelan oil, I just learned this, by the way. I want to be clear. I'm not an expert on Venezuela. You know, I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm a random. Venezuela's, because of their lack of infrastructure, maintenance on their oil production and all their facilities, it literally costs more to produce the barrel of oil than it's worth. Timothy, don't that sound like our coal industry right here in America?
100%.
Costs way too much money to dig up the coal than it is on the open market.
100%.
And so now, Hafez, we are going to use American taxpayer money to build up Venezuelan infrastructure for a bunch of oil executives, and we aren't even going to see, even in the most selfish viewpoint imaginable, the average American will not see a penny from this. We literally made some shit up and kidnapped a world leader overnight. Nobody's debating the capability of the military being able to do this. We all know they're capable. But just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Okay, Tarus. I think you missed the beginning of my this show because I went into all of that. I mean, that's everything you said is 100% true. By the way, I'm not even like, that's why we were all quiet, because you weren't saying anything that was controversial. But what I will say is that America's back, baby. This is how America got the shit done back in the day. What do you
Hold
think
on,
how
though.
shit got
Pump your
done?
brakes, though. Pump your brakes, though, because see, we're both veterans and we understand the consequences of war. We understand the consequences of calling something a law enforcement operation under the guise of something else. And again, this is why I was talking about byproducts. You know, if some dude goes around sucker punching people, eventually his time is coming. And I don't want to be here when our time is coming. I'm just being real with you. Look, man, I worked in counterterrorism, still working in counterterrorism. It's not a fun field because all you do is read reports of tit for tat get back. I don't care how big and strong you are. Eventually, somebody's going to test that chin, man. It's just that's just the law of averages. This is great. We got a lot of early celebrators right now. That's how I'm looking at it. There's a lot of early celebrators.
Timothy, the Iraqis were celebrating too, weren't they?
Sure enough,
Look how that turned out for them. The Libyans were celebrating too when we took Gaddafi out. How that turned out.
But the thing is, Tarus, you're also conflating the regional the people of that particular regions, the Iraqis, the Libyans. These are Middle Eastern or Muslim jihadi types. Venezuelans are
Hafez,
Catholic Christians.
Do you have any idea, respectfully, Hafez, do you have any idea of the terrible track record our country has with destabilizing Latin American countries? It never works.
Yeah, but you don't get jihadis, you don't get Venezuelans running planes into buildings. You don't have any issues with Ecuadorians blowing themselves up in buses.
But what you get is a cartel.
Really?
What you get is a cartel.
Hafez, you cannot say that if Trump is literally saying Venezuelans are the reason why we just did what we did. So clearly, in the eyes of some, Venezuelans are doing enough negative things to our country, or we wouldn't be in this situation. You can't say that.
No, he's saying. I mean, Timothy is right. He's
the leader, right?
Trump is saying these are the cartels that were shipping drugs and stuff over to the United States and sort of affecting U.S. citizens that way. What I'm saying is, I think if you actually look at the different countries in the South Americans that America did things to, Ecuador, Panama, all these different places which had American interest.
Yeah.
Once they took out that leader and put in another guy, I think it was a Pinochet, Chile, and all these other things. You didn't get acts of terrorism from the Chileans in the United States. You didn't get the kind of blowback and the kind of sort of bad after effects as you did from the Middle East.
Yeah, we just got massive human rights violations quarantined within the area we destabilized. That's so much better.
Look, Tarus, I think you should have listened to my first monologue. The fact is that when you're an empire, you have to do a bit of graping and a bit of pillaging. Now, I'm not talking about for the whole Genghis Khan graping and pillaging of the villagers, but I am saying that the little bit of pillaging has to come back. I'm sorry, the world is not a nice place. We need pillaging again. I think personally, the British Empire should come back and do a ton of pillaging, maybe not so much graping.
So let's say I just try to push back and push, just kind of let this imperialism narrative go. What's the point of invading and destabilizing a country whose leader had already said, look, guys, if y'all want to just come here and just like open up bring back the American oil companies, look, I'm more than willing to do it. Like, HAFEZ, this is the problem, right? It's the same thing with Greenland. Greenland's like, well, if y'all want to cut some business deals, be the great negotiator and all that, yeah, we're way open. But then, HAFEZ, if we just send the military anyway, you're saying, well, that's cool. Even though they're willing to be diplomatic and capitalist about it, screw it, let's just invade them anyway.
Well, are you saying that
Yes, that's Maduro had that openly. Everyone reported Maduro was going to let us do basically a whole looting process. And remember, HAFEZ, earlier this year, we tried the Venezuelan coup with the CIA that failed. That's on top of the Venezuela coup that he tried in his first term, because people forget we got a whole first term to evaluate Trump.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this is what I mean. I think this is someone in the chat already put it. I actually showed you guys. You guys know about John Perkins, right? The economic hitman. He wrote the book, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Okay, yeah. If you don't know about it, 100% go look that up. That is a amazing book. I'm going to post it up again for you guys to see this bad boy. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, damn it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Bear with me. I just got to share the old screen-a-rooney. Just let me share this and I'll show you guys what I mean. We don't need voice for this. Just you can just see it. Essentially, this is the Confessions of an Economic Hitman. In my opinion, there are two books in your lifetime that you should read. There is this book, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and then there is also the other book, Rules for Radical. No, not Rules for Radical. Although Rules for Radicals is a great book. You should read that if you want to know the minds of the lefty. But hold on. Let me get this next one for you. This is the next book. I think this is the next edition that's available. Bear with me. I'm going to pop this here as well. I don't know if you can see that. It's called The Dictator's Handbook. You definitely need to read these two books. Or listen to them in audio. Audio books are available on YouTube and various different places. Look these two books up. I highly recommend it. They literally explain everything you see before you. What is going on and in what happened in the US. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh my goodness. Tarus, you're the man. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Man. Hey, thank you for allowing me to grace your platform, brothers.
No. It's all good, man. It's all good. You're gracing. You are my pleasure, sir.
Hey,
but anyway,
I'm here with you guys. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that in the book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, John Perkins says there are 3 stages that the U.S. military goes through if anyone threatens the petrodollar, because this is what it's all about. Like you just said, this isn't about the Venezuelan people. This isn't about drugs and fentanyl. You explained all of that And it was concise, because that is not about any of that. It is about the fact that Venezuela, it is the number one oil-rich nation in the world, and they were starting to sell that oil in another currency, in other currencies, in yuan and various other sort of internal, currencies of various nations. And that cannot stand, because if the US loses the petrodollar, it loses its status as the reserve currency of the world, it will be devastating to the United States economy. It will literally destroy the United States economy. And we were talking about the debt, which you guys are in, which is at the moment at $38 trillion. So none of this was about fentanyl. None of this was about saving the Venezuela. I said this again in my monologue. If the Venezuelan people happen to be better off because of this, that is a byproduct of this event. That is not the goal of this event.
Hey,
that
Timothy,
is just
that's the one time trickle down economics works.
Yes,
once.
This will be the only time, possibly. But these are all byproducts. The benefit to the American people, the benefit to the people of Europe, the benefit to the Venezuelans. They are all byproducts of the essential goal, which is we must retain the petrodollar, and no other nation can even have the thought in their head that they can start to mess with this reserve currency. And I'm going to try and find it. I don't know. It was a documentary a long time ago. China has been going after the petrodollar for decades now. Mm-hmm. They, in fact, were trying to create a new currency, a new reserve currency for the world, not like the yuan, just a new currency, just this new money, which the world can use to buy and sell oil. And they weren't successful. Obviously, I think America would have managed to undermine them, and also America being their biggest customer, essentially, they had to make sure that they couldn't do it at the time. But I'm telling you, China is making moves for that. This may be a failed attempt. They may, America may be able to extend for another 1 or 2 decades with the petrodollar by taking Venezuela this way. But in another 10, 15 years, China is going to make a bid for that again, because the Chinese will not give up on this. They know how devastating this could be to the US, and that is their goal, because the Chinese want to eventually take America's top position as the global leaders. That is their aim. They don't want to invade China. They don't want to invade America. They don't want to take over America. They don't give a shit about that. What the Chinese want is they want their status back before the British Empire destroyed it. Back before the British Empire went to India for spices and silk, they used to go to the Chinese. The Chinese would treat them like shit. There are documentaries on it. The Chinese Empire would practically spit in the eye of the British and say, "Give me your gold, you white sack of shit, and here's some tea, here's some spices, and here's some silk. Now fuck off back to your country." That's how they used to treat them. And after the British undermined that, they call that period the period of humiliation. They see that as a humiliation, and they want their status back in the world. That's what the Chinese are working on, is that they want to be top dog again, and they want to look down at everyone else and say, here's some tea, here's some silk, now piss off. Well, in this case, it would be IKEA furniture.
What was holding back China's ambition perfectly fine for decades? America's stability in the global political theater. Everybody knows that America is going to honor their trade deals. If you did a defense deal with America to a fault, we gonna come and we gonna defend you, if you will. We gonna show up, maybe as some peace deal. I mean, for God's sakes, African countries call us all the time to solve some crap. Right now, HAFEZ, we don't have that anymore because Trump started a global trade war, right? And that's the biggest thing of having the reserve currency and keeping the reserve currency is keeping friends and making new friends. You don't piss off all your allies and then go, "Hey guys, I know I just pissed y'all off, but I really only did this because, our real enemy is over here." But if China's the real enemy, why am I doing it? If China's the enemy, How come they're eating good and I'm the one who's got to worry about getting invaded by my own ally? That doesn't sound very friendly. That doesn't sound very stabilizing, HAFEZ.
Look. Yes, I agree with you but Venezuela was never an ally. They didn't see themselves as an ally. They were more of an ally to Russia. Russia is more pissed about what just happened than anyone else. Well, Russia, Iran, these are the countries that are upset about this. So if
Russia is except for the wrong reasons. Real quick, HAFEZ, I wanted to clarify because there is, and not to cut you off, but Timothy will notice there is actually some good, a very niche good thing that came out of this, and this is military-wise, because HAFEZ, I don't know if it was probably a few months ago, at least a year ago, Venezuela had recently purchased and took delivery of Russian anti-air defense systems. And our aircraft just went through them shits like Swiss cheese. Right? So Russia's pissed because their top-of-the-line shit doesn't work. That's why they're pissed. With the oil, Putin himself is actually happy with the oil because short-term, remember, he also sells oil like Venezuela sells oil. And so now all the other countries that were relying on the crude oil from Venezuela,
go to him.
Now they're going to come to him more, just like when he was trying to sell all that crude oil to India on the cheap, and they bought it. You get what I mean? So, and this is going to actually increase his war bonds and keep up the effort in Ukraine. Short term. You get what I mean? Long term, military wise, this is actually a bad thing for Vladimir Putin because everybody just saw his equipment just.
Yeah.
What do you think Ibrahim Traore is saying? Hey, man, all that shit you gave me better work, bro. I am not playing. All that shit you gave me better work.
There you go.
Kind of like when you get sold fake pills. That shit better get me high. I swear to God.
Timothy HAFEZ.
Yeah, that's wild.
Remember when Putin said this was just going to be a 3-day special military operation? It was literally a 3-hour military operation we just pulled off.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously good for just strictly military speak, and really bad for Russia because that was embarrassing.
I heard. Didn't Iran also sell Venezuela some, ground to air kind of defenses and stuff that also failed? Like crap.
Maybe I think they would, but Iran's cheap, man. They've been doing more like drone equipment, that kind of crap.
Would they give them some stingers? Some stingers from 1989?
Maybe.
Yeah, but just about everything failed. Yeah, I mean, it just showed how incredibly useless all this stuff has been. And again, look, Tarus, as much as I agree with you that there may be blowback for this, because that's what the Middle East has mostly been for the Americans. Has been blowback after blowback. They help the Mujahideen with the Russians, and then they get Al Qaeda with Osama bin Laden. They help, or they get rid of Saddam Hussein in Iraq, then they get ISIS. They get rid of Gaddafi, they get slave markets. So yeah, it's been a lot of blowbacks in the Middle East. I still think that the composition of the people and the culture of the South Americans is different, and they're not going to suffer they're not going to get, America is not going to get the kind of blowback from that, unless what Timothy said in regards to the South Americans don't have jihadis, they have cartels, and they'll put them to work.
Yeah, and you need to understand, HAFEZ, Timothy is 100% correct, because when it comes to your average Latino drug cartel, I wish we were dealing with Middle Easterns and flip-flops. No offense. Because they got American-made weapons, right? They got the crap we shoot with, right? And they also embedded, they know us. We are them. Remember, Venezuela is just another successfully European colonized country like the rest of us. The only difference between our cultures is the European language we speak, right? They know us like the back of their hand because they're already here. And HAFEZ, Timothy is 100% correct, because the power vacuum that the drug cartels, there's going to be a war over that. There's multiple drug cartels that's going to want that power vacuum, especially because our own president and vice president is like, yeah, we're going to run Venezuela. So now Venezuela is an occupied territory officially, right? Bro, they already have, and that's the thing, the cartels already have the infrastructure. They're not starting from ground zero. They already have their soldiers. They already have their logistics. They already have their planes. They already have the same people embedded within the Venezuelan government because of that, they only removed the president. All the power structure that you supposedly, I mean, you like Trump supposedly had a problem with are still there.
What would, sorry, Timothy, I want you to come in on this as well, please. What would the blowback from Venezuela look like then? Because I can tell you what it would look like from a Middle Eastern perspective. It'll be jihadis kabooming and you know, shooting people in the streets, screaming Allahu Akbar. That's easy for me. But what would blowback from South American nations look like on the streets of America? Go on, Tim. Go on, get in first, and then Taroush follow up. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if Timothy, can you hear me? Taroush, you can hear me okay? Yeah, I think Timothy maybe have.
Timothy, you there?
You there, bro? Hello. I think he's either lagging or he can't hear me.
You there, bro?
I don't think he can hear us. Okay, Taroush, whilst we're waiting for Tim, go for it. Go for it. Give us your take on the blowback.
Best case scenario, maybe an increase in cartel traffic within the streets. Worst case scenario, it literally turned into a GTA server. I need to remind you of HAFEZ, as funny as that is, HAFEZ, I need to remind you that we're talking about a region of the world, bro, where in Mexico, and I don't know if Timothy can hear this, but people will tell you, bro, in Mexico, there was a cartel brother who literally took a helicopter with his boys and broke his brother out of prison and flew off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Timothy, take it over. Take it over.
So, go on, Tim. Go on.
Okay, so in conjunction with that, I have a question. Why is it important to put a narco-terrorist on trial in America and we didn't put bin Laden on trial?
Well, I mean, I think bin Laden just got pew-pewed and yeah.
Doesn't matter though, because they still could have just grabbed him up. My question is their excuse, and I asked that because their excuse was, oh, well, we don't want to turn him into a martyr. Isn't Trin Deawaga all over the United States? Why would you bring somebody who they hold in high regard over here?
Yeah.
The logic doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying.
It's true. It's true. Also, like the whole thing about, I mean, this is the problem. I mean, I can go easily in that conspiracy of bin Laden in regards to the fact that they didn't even have they threw his body in the sea and they didn't want to have an altar for him. And all that. I'm like, dude, come on. If you pull my other leg, it plays a bell. Come on, because the thing is, like, they think the people don't know the bin Laden family are an exceedingly rich and powerful family in the Middle East. They're not some nobodies. They're not some idiots living in a cave like a Taliban. They are so powerful, so rich. The bin Laden sister would. She's quoted, she visited the Bush ranch so often she considered it a second home. This is George W. Bush's ranch. These people are not idiots, and they're not going to let their son be thrown into the sea. They're Muslims. They will burn your house down if you did that to their child. They will still have him buried. They might have him buried on their own private plot somewhere, but they're not going to let you throw their son into the sea. Bin Laden is not at the bottom of the ocean. Even if he's dead, and which is a lot of people who suspect that might not even be the case, but even if he's out, if they took him out, he's not at the bottom of an ocean, not with a family like bin Laden, the corporation. Bin Laden's literally have massive shares in Bechtel, Carlyle Group, Halliburton. This is all, by the way, this is all public knowledge. This was like public knowledge like 20 years ago. Nobody's shocked about these things. But sorry, Taroush, go on.
Oh no,
Are you good? But yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I mean, I think this they're gonna have a kangaroo court for Maduro. Of course, they're gonna show him up, and they're gonna have some sort of kangaroo court. I don't know whether he's gonna end up Epstein in some unforeseen accident of self harming with no cameras working on that night, or whether they'll just sort of parade him around in some prison somewhere for a while. But either way, he's out the picture. He's off the table essentially, and then whatever's happening in in Venezuela is going to take its course. And I think this is also another shot across the bow to the Saudis for sure, and the Emiratis, that if you are thinking about messing with this petrodollar, you better reevaluate you may end up becoming a drug cartel terrorist yourself.
The problem is, HAFEZ, it needs to work for that message to be effective. You see, that's the thing. We're only in day 2, right? This looks like a victory right up until the next Venezuela migrant caravan shows up on our borders. Right? You see, HAFEZ, that's what we deal with on our side of the hemisphere. You get what I mean? Like it sounds good, and then our fellow Americans are going to pretend to act shocked and confused about why there's a bunch of Latinos at our border seeking refuge, right? And again, that only works to the enemies if we successfully pull a regime change, right? That is yet to be seen, and our track record with pulling off successful regime change can at best be described as piss poor.
Well, I mean, if you're from the Taliban's perspective, you guys did a great job. You came to the country, you messed around and spent billions for about 20 years, and then you left the country, leaving them with helicopters and a massive military equipment. I mean, from a Taliban perspective, you guys were awesome.
I was part of like the drawdown in Iraq, my second deployment, HAFEZ. People don't understand that whole leaving the equipment downrange, that crap has been beat up. We've taken all the sensitive materials like the radios, the comms out of that crap. I'm talking like, HAFEZ, the vehicles we left there have been banging in there for 15 years in the desert, bro. Don't nobody want that shit. Okay? And so with Iraq, it's actually more the correlation, because unfortunately our Americans are very uneducated, HAFEZ. And so just like when we removed Saddam, we found out the hard way the other monsters within the country.
Yep.
And as you know, we couldn't put a lid on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So the average American or ideas or knowledge on Iraq was next to none. What do you think the average American's education on the state of Venezuela is?
I mean, again, I'm holding on to the mere fact that the cultural differences in the regions are going to produce, and that's what I keep saying. Like, what does blowback look like? And you're right, it could be in the guise of GTA 5 in the streets of America with the gangs. It could be massive caravans of refugees or migrants from Venezuela and South America just pouring onto the American border. I guess those are the blowbacks, right? And if it's successful, though, there'll be a whole bunch of refugees going to Venezuela or asylum seekers.
Yeah. And if it's not successful, which it tends to not be, right? And see, that's HAFEZ. Like, I wish I can have like a glass half full kind of viewpoint on this, but this is the American government we're talking about here, who never seems to think things through all the way. And HAFEZ, the reason why I say culturally, the violence will be either similar or worse, because HAFEZ, you don't understand. For some people, capitalism is a religion. And for the longest, both parties here, the reason we don't, one of the many reasons we don't necessarily mess with migration and things like that is because stirring up cartels are literally our direct competition. Even our CIA couldn't beat them.
That's why they joined them.
Can't beat them, join them. We are dealing with literally organized crimes with military guns. Like, again, Hafez, I wish we were dealing with some crazies in the Middle East. That would actually give me the warm and fuzzies.
That would actually be easier, you think?
Hell yeah.
No.
And no disrespect to the guy. I know y'all love y'all country out there. If you hear me, hey, militant to militant. Hey, no disrespect, but yeah, I'd rather bang against you guys than these dudes out here in Central and South America.
Damn.
Yes, all day, every day.
Guys that will show up to your house just magically, and all of a sudden the whole family's killed and nobody knows nothing. The crazies in the Middle East can't pull that off in America. Yeah. They never have. Not on a mass scale. How many cartel hits have there been in Phoenix, Texas, California, where nobody knows what happened? Look at the weed farms up in NorCal. They were clipping people left and right. It was all cartel hits, and nobody knows what happened.
Yeah. They got cartel members in Lily White, Utah.
Absolutely.
Utah and Idaho got cartel
running shit.
Utah.
No, that's real, man. People think that that's like some crazy movie. It's not.
Yeah, bro. I wish, Hafez, like I'm telling you, Timothy agrees with me, bro. I wish we were dealing with ideology. We are dealing with entities that are criminal versions of the same corporations that are screwing us over now. That's a whole different animal, Hafez.
Do they have heavy equipment, or is it mostly small arms?
They got everything.
Rocket launchers and heavy.
Everything. They got everything.
They got MRAPs.
It's small. It's special forces. It's like just all cartels are just a special forces unit.
Do they have
same
like
thing?
We're talking like javelins and there's like crazy.
They got what they need to get
stuff?
the job done. I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah, they got what they need. Yeah, they'll typically use. I don't know if they got the javelins, but they definitely got missiles, and they definitely used it against each other. Like, that's what I'm saying. It will turn into a GTA server quick, Hafez, because they have already shown to use some crazy shit against each other. Mm-hmm. Give them a reason to turn up against us.
Yeah.
Right? On top of that, you got to remember the nasty truth of humanity, especially our country, Hafez. You can't sell drugs that aren't in demand. Somebody in our country wants them.
This is the part that I was always a bit like when he was making the speech about they're sending all their drugs over here and they're killing thousands of Americans. I'm like, yeah, but those Americans, aren't they buying those drugs? Nobody's holding them down and pushing it down their throat. I'm pretty sure most of these drugs are being sold. So,
and again, Hafez, if you really want to make it about narco-terrorism and make it about fentanyl, then at least attack the country supplying the fentanyl. You're attacking a country that don't supply any of it.
Who is the supplier of fentanyl? Oh, China.
China. They got the precursor. They have the largest reserve of the precursor for fentanyl. It's in China.
How did this fentanyl thing become popular? I mean, what does it do to you that is so like popular?
It's a long, snaky story, but the short version is corporate healthcare, opioid crisis with painkillers, people getting hooked on drugs, looking for another way to get the fix.
Okay, but what does it actually? I mean, is it just like oh, there goes Timothy. Is it just like what's it called? Opium or cocaine? I mean, what does it? Does it make you calm? Does it make?
Oh, we talking about dog.
Is it an upper? Is it a downer? I don't know anything.
So
about
we're talking. I mean, you've heard of crystal meth, and the opioids and all that. That's what.
So it's in line with that.
That's the crap we're talking about. Yeah, that's what the fentanyl is like. We're talking heroin level kind of crap.
But like what?
And Venezuela supplies cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, Venezuela.
Not saying it's not a big deal.
Oh,
but
is that
you
what
get
they're
it, you know
okay?
what I
Okay,
mean?
so their main thing is the devil's marching
Yes.
powder, not fentanyl.
Yep. And the majority of Venezuelan powder goes to Europe, not America. Yes, there's some goes to
Yeah.
America. Again, we're not trying to justify it, but you get what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah.
Like
There's
it's
their main customer
they're-
base is Europe rather than America. Probably
yeah.
Colombia.
So their main drug isn't even a drug that is killing everybody, and then their main customer base ain't even us. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
exactly
think
right.
Colombia is probably more the stuff that goes from Colombia to the U.S. is probably more than.
Yep. And guess what? It ain't fentanyl either from Colombia. It's
Yeah.
that straight cocaine.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yep.
that stuff. But yeah, no, it's just I said because I hear about fentanyl. I'm Christ, I don't even smoke cigarettes, and I'm cutting down on alcohol. So it's like I don't do drugs at all, and I never knew what kind of effect, because I know what I've seen a lot of movies about heroin. I know what people what the kind of what they're supposed to feel like when they're on like heroin, cocaine. I've seen, again, I've never done it. I've just seen people on it, and I know it hypes you up and you just don't sleep for days on end, and it's just crazy. And weed, yeah, I have to admit, I'm a bit more in touch with the devil's herb than I am with the other stuff. I've
Bro,
back.
I love Satan's cabbage too, bro. You know what I mean?
When I was a kid, when I was younger, but yeah, I've never done anything like these sort of stuff, or ecstasy or LSD. I've been actually quite square for a lot of my life. I haven't really gone into that kind of stuff. Never even tried them. Like, didn't even wasn't curious, but I had no idea what effects fentanyl actually gives you. And I guess if it's like an opiate, then it just must make you just like heroin and stuff, just like knocks you out.
Yeah, it's really like, again, like, not everyone, but it really started getting bad because we did have an era where the hospitals were over prescribing medication, narcotics to people, and it was getting a hook. People was literally getting hooked on it simply because they had major back surgery and stuff like
Yes.
that. And
Michael Jackson,
you know,
prescription Michael Jackson,
that-
he was
you know,
like a
that-
victim of that sort of stuff, where you just keep taking, you start off with ibuprofen and just keep working your way up. And yeah, it's true. People who are in a lot of pain, I've seen that. I've seen they actually get addicted on prescription stuff. They just can't come off it. So yeah, no, that's pretty bad. But I heard that when it comes to this fentanyl stuff, the tiny, like the measurement in which you can take without dying is exceedingly small, and if you get a few grams this way or that way, you could, it's fatal. So it's not something you can mess about with, essentially. Like if the guys who's supplying you or whatever doesn't have the accurate measurements, or if you yourself got any numbers wrong, you could it's because, like, you can't say it, that first time you take, I don't know, cocaine, I guess, or heroin even, you're gonna die if you just get the dose slightly wrong. if you make that line a little too thick.
When it comes to fentanyl. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. So do you think that the United States attitude that is currently taken with this situation, apart from the blowback from Venezuela itself, is this going to have a global effect on other countries behaving badly, essentially, or moving around?
I think this is a bad thing, and the answer is no. We're not going to get any blowback from the global our global allies, or however you call it,
the global market, the global,
and that's a bad thing.
Yeah, why? Because you essentially it gives them a ticket to continue.
You just said bullying is a-okay.
Well,
if we've gone back to the era of, if I'm just bigger than you, I'm literally entitled to try and take your shit.
It kind of is, though. It's always been.
But no, no,
But it
no.
kind of is, because look, I'll explain to you. Andrew Wilson actually mentions it quite well in his what he calls the force doctrine. Now, I understand what you're saying. You shouldn't say might makes right. Might doesn't make right. But my take on that is, it doesn't matter whether might makes right, whether you bully someone, where you have the power to overpower someone else and take what they've got. That may not be the right thing to do, but it is the thing to do. It is the thing that will happen if you yourself are not mighty, if you're the weak. You are at the behest. You essentially live at the good graces of the mighty. You're hoping that the mighty is Hercules and not, Lucifer. That's it.
And you're hoping that you're on teams with Hercules,
Yeah,
and not Lucifer, or at least you're not in the way of Lucifer.
yeah.
Right?
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the might, those who have the might will act their will. They will act their will, because only the mighty, only the strong can enact their will. The weak cannot impose their will upon nothing. Only the mighty can enact their will.
I can't speak for non-Western countries, but as you know, we as Western countries specifically put it into that bullshit, or we were supposed to, in World War II.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think we really did.
So again, we're supposed to, right? And at the very minimum, what we weren't doing anymore is attacking our own allies, attacking our own neighbors. We're at least going to have a conversation about that. I mean, I get what you're saying too, but it's one thing for me to, it's one thing for, let's say, China did attack. Let's say China attacked us, right? And I go, you know what? Never again. I'm going to roll through China's entire, I'm taking all their shit. At least there was a reason. At least I get to be like, shit, man, I was just defending myself. And I see all you other countries getting picked on. And so I just decided to put a stop to it. That sounds good, right, HAFEZ?
Well, that would be essentially Hercules.
What attack did Venezuela do on the United States?
Well, this is the, I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, I think these.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, for this specific, because we understand the nuance, but attacking stuff, even if you're bigger than them, even Mongol, even Genghis Khan, and even, God forbid, Hitler knew the importance of smaller allies. You get what I mean? You can't attack everybody.
Well, sometimes when you're big enough, you see. Okay, let me give you another example. Vlad the Impaler was very famously known for impaling any village they sacked. But what they would
defended against the Ottoman.
Yeah, but what Vlad's explanation was that if I impale one village, then I will get another 10 village that will just literally kneel without a single shot being fired. So I will save thousands of lives by doing a terrible thing in this one place. And maybe that is the mindset of if we put the hammer down on Venezuela this way, and with the byproduct of making them better and healthier and richer society in which they don't have to eat their dogs, then that will send out multiple messages. Number one, we're still the good guys. We're still helping people come out of starvation. But if you try to sell your oil in any other currency, we're still here and we still have a hammer.
It's strange that you bring up the example of Vlad, because Vlad was kidnapped by the Ottoman Empire, had a lot of beef from the Ottomans. Yeah. And then most of, even though his military campaigns and everything like that was absolutely trying to send a message, it was sending a message in defense of the Ottomans' relentless attack. He did not go to the Ottoman Empire itself and take it.
True. Over. Yes. He was all in self-defense. In yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And he was part of the Janissary.
No self-defense excuse. Right. There is no self-defense excuse.
No.
When it comes to the United States and Venezuela.
No, it's true. I'm not even starting on that with that point, because this was purely a aggressive it's this, but this is what I'm saying. Sometimes they say attack is the best defense. Is sometimes you make this maneuver in order for you not to have to make. You don't have to kill the next 4 villages because you impaled one village. This is what I used the Vlad thing was, that you take out Venezuela like this so that you don't have to march into Saudi Arabia. You don't have to march into Iran. You don't have to march into, Arab Emirates and bring the hammer down and say, you're going to have to sell your oil in our currency. Because it's not, because you got to look at it. We have a lot of emerging oil rich nations as well. We've got like Nigeria and possibly, Somalia. Somalia is actually an oil rich country. Most people don't seem to realize. These are emerging oil nations, or OPEC type nations, and there will be others in years to come, I'm sure, that would emerge. So you kind of got to lay the law down and shoo off the Chinese, shoo off the Russians, and let them know that we're still here, we've still got a stick, and it's a big stick, and it's bigger than all your sticks, and more importantly, that they're willing to use this. See, I saw an interview with the CIA, or it was one of the CIA directors, or someone who was in the CIA during the World War II era, and they were talking about dropping the atomic bomb on Japan, and the guy said it wasn't the mere fact that we had the bomb. We also had to show that we're willing to use the bomb. And that was part of the essential motivation towards doing, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. A lot of people say, oh, well, that saved a lot of lives because Japan wasn't going to quit fighting, whatever. Those are possible excuses or possibilities. But the real motivation, as this guy stated, was that it's not enough to say you have a big stick. You occasionally have to swing it and knock a few on the head just to show them that you're willing to use that big stick. And maybe this is one of those moments.
So let's stick with your analogy with the big stick and it being about oil, all right, and oil reserves and these sort of things. If those villages or one of these villages comes up to me before I burn it down and they go, look, we've been telling you, man, and the offer still stands. If you want to cut business deals and essentially have control over our oil for certain protections, we are more than willing to do it. If I decide to burn down that village anyway, HAFEZ, to the other villages, are they more likely to get in line, or are they more likely to band together to try to push me off?
Well, yes, that's the risk.
Because at the end of the day, they also saw the same person burning down the village can't keep his own words when it comes to trade deals. So it doesn't seem like anything written down in stone even matters. Right? And especially too, right? Why should I listen to the guy who just burnt this village down after he already, remember, trade war, aka took a lot of merchant trades away from me? Does that really make me more willing to work with that guy, or more willing to become China, Korea, and Japan? 3 countries who notoriously hate each other, and Trump single-handedly made them create a trade deal together. What do you think is more likely to happen, HAFEZ?
No, you're right. You're right. The way,
and again, it still has to work, HAFEZ. All of this is going on. It's not one or the other. All of this is going on at the same time. You still have to find a way to actually stabilize the country and spend billions upgrading all the oil infrastructure.
Yeah. No, you're right in this sense that if I impale one village and the rest surrender, but I impale them anyway, the third village is like, well, what the hell am I surrendering? I might as well find someone else to team up with.
If I'm screwed anyway, I might as well go out with a bang.
Or at least I'll take my chances with fighting my with the next couple, try to, like you said, Korea, South Korea, China, and Japan, developing a trade deal. That is crazy.
They
That
hate
is
each other, Hafez.
crazy.
You know that. They hate each other. And they did that.
Historically,
or, I guess in 2025. Yeah, they did
yeah,
that.
historically, they despise each other. They've been at
Right.
war forever. I mean, they literally
man.
been at war with each other as long as the Arabs have been at war, like through Shias and the Sunnis. You know what I mean? That kind of is centuries.
So how bad do you need to screw up to get them to negotiate with each other? That's how bad. There's no way you could spin that as a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's
the actions of whoever took that to get them to work
worrying.
together. You get what I mean? Because we always love to say the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But what's also true in a lot of cases is that, man, the enemy of my enemy is also my enemy.
Yes. Yeah. But damn, I didn't even realize last year that the Japanese and the Chinese and the Koreans made a trade deal.
Japan, China, South Korea.
Son of a beach.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, because you see, this is what I mean. Maybe this is why Trump is, doing this to try to regain that sort of, because I think they're starting to realize America's losing their grip on all of these allies and all of these places where these countries they used to don't. I mean, essentially, there's without a doubt, Japan and South Korea are what they are because of American influence and because of American dominance in that region. These cultures and these societies were never this capitalistic, and they have a very high honor culture and loyalty to their shoguns and their kings and all that sort of emperors and all that. The capitalism that was inserted was 100% American, and they took that and ran with it too. By the way, they did brilliantly out of it. But maybe that's what it is. They're not doing so well out of it anymore. And I don't know. The winds are changing. There's a wind. The winds have changed.
But Hafez, you know this. In the global economy, everybody understands, or at least when you're allies, everybody understands, okay, we in this together. Like COVID, right? It was a global thing, so nobody was ticked off at each other for the most part. But economic competition is completely different than what Japan, Korea, and South Korea, or Japan, South Korea, and China felt, which is we basically slapped them in the face. Like, there's a difference between a plan just not working out and your supposed ally just blatantly disrespecting you. Because it gets to the point, yeah, we're family, but I'm not going to keep tolerating this disrespect. Yeah, you owe you owe some of my debt, but I also own some of yours too. And what did Japan do because of that disrespect, Hafez? They started selling off their U.S. bonds. That started jacking up our already out of control housing crisis.
Yes, and
right,
and inflation and everything. It'll
even with, you already know their economy has crashed plenty of times. Have they ever decided to sell off our U.S. bonds? No, because we didn't disrespect our allies, did we? And so it's easier to try to send a message when you got people on your team, Hafez, but when you're going it alone, way different. I gotta go, Hafez. Thank you so much for letting me grace.
Thank you, sir.
I want to send you down a quick rabbit hole. Trump just mentioned the Monroe Doctrine.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so have fun with that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, have fun with that.
I saw that. I was like, oh dear God, I don't think he knows what he wants to go down that road. He doesn't want people googling that one, but yeah. Thank you
so much, Hafez.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Peace. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. I usually only do a couple of hours once. I just want to quickly read this out, which Big 666 placed. The U.S. taking over Venezuela is not to do with drugs to all. It's because Venezuela entered in a strategic partnership with China and Russia. Yep. Yeah, and it's, as I say, yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone on the show has been discussing that was my central message as well. This is nothing to do with people of Venezuela and freeing Venezuela from a dictatorship. We all know that. But I hope and pray that as a result of this situation, the Venezuelan people will be better off. That is our hope. I hope that America and the corporations that are going to get in there will assist that genuinely, at least as a byproduct of them making a shit ton of profits, which is what they initially want. So I hope there's enough scraps off the master's table that will help the Venezuelan people come out of the terrible, terrible poverty that they're in, and raise them that way. But for now, we'll wait and see. But I just like to say thank you to everyone that jumped on the panel. Base Welshman, I'm sorry, Base. I'm going to try and maybe run some StreamYard streams through my OBS. Maybe that will, ease your panel issues with because I know StreamYard is better on the mobile apps than Restream. So we'll see how that goes on a future stream. Also on Restream, I can stream onto 2 channels simultaneously. I'm on Kick and on YouTube right now. Whilst with StreamYard, they don't let me do that. There's all sorts of things that Restream gives me that StreamYard doesn't. I'm sorry, Based, but that's the way it is. But we'll see. We'll see next stream. Hopefully, I'll do an OBS version. Thank you, Based. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you to Roos. Great guys. By the way, guys, actually, I don't know if they have channels, but if you guys want to catch Roos and Timothy, they do show up on Chaotic Truth's stream every so often. So go and check them out over there. Great guys, great intellects. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Fun with Dirts. Thank you, Lieutenant, in the chats. This is the chats. Thank you, FOOFI Stream Hub. JK, thank you. Sensible, thank you. Again, Fun with Dirt. Base. History reset. You and I, we need to have words. What else? Who else we got in the chat that I may have missed? Of course, the beautiful super chat from Tarus. Thank you, sir. This was what I should have played for you, but I didn't.
Money, must be funny in the rich man's world. Money, always sunny
in a rich man's world. I don't get super chats, so I'm not even used to playing like my super chat music. Totally forgot about playing the super chat music when someone sent the super chat. I am out of touch with such maneuvers. Thank you, Hanie is it Hani Hyan Shali? Oh God, I'm butchering this woman's name. I'm sorry, but thank you for showing up. Thank you, Tarus, Elliot, Smiley. Big up to yourselves, Elliot and Smiley, and Big 666. And then the final message is by Peace out, Elliot. Peace out, my man. And Miss Lieutenant. Love you guys. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you for watching the show. I guess the next one will be probably from the streets of London. There's a protest tomorrow. Oh my God. Gospel. Give the gospel to Jesus. Thank you for the $10. I can now play my money program.
The best things in life are free, but you can't keep them for the birds and bees. Now give me money. That's what I want. 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 Your loving.
Thank you. God bless you, my dear. Gospel. Give the gospel to Jesus. Love you. Thank you so much for the last minute super chat. That was awesome. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for coming. And my final recommendation for everyone is, if you haven't read it, please, 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 please read 2 books if it's the last thing you do in your life. Confessions of an Economic Hitman and The Dictator's Handbook. Go look them up. Go research them. These books are vital reading in the world that we find ourselves. These books are amazing. And also read the Bible, as John 3:16. Hold on. I shall. I believe it's. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot, what am I doing? I apologize. Let's read John 3:16 together, since Give the Gospel has already mentioned it. For God, hold on. I'm gonna actually put it in the stream so you guys can see it with me. Say it with me. Say it with me, boys and girls. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Amen. You know, oh man, I don't want to say this. But the other night I had this, I don't know, I maybe ate cheese. Usually I have bad dreams when I eat cheese or yogurt before I sleep. But I had a terrible dream about a loved one in my life, which I can't bear to lose. And unfortunately, with every day, we're getting basically ticking closer to that inevitable time in which we shall all shed this mortal coil. And this person in that dream, she'd passed away, and I just couldn't believe it. But you know what? I know it was a dream. I know my atheist brain tells me that it is just me having maybe too much yogurt. Amen, Gossi. Maybe I'm just dreaming. I'm having a bad dream because I've had yogurt, and that biochemically reacts with my brain, and I have terrible dreams sometimes. But you know what? The weird portion of this dream was that I saw the person that passed away in this wonderfully angelic looking place, and I could see her, that she was in a better place. She was embraced by Jesus, and he grabbed her, he hugged her, and they walked off. Damn it. It always messes with me, that damn. I can remember it very clearly, which is very surprising, actually. I don't normally remember my dreams. But yeah, I hope, I really want for there to be a heaven, and that maybe Jesus will take my loved ones and embrace them and take them into that wonderful place. But I don't know. My brain, my atheist, damn it, brain just doesn't want to allow it. I don't want to. It doesn't let me believe in the religious side of things. You're going to have more dreams and visions. Speaker for the people. The Father loves you and will do mighty works in your day. You will see. I don't know. It's terrible. It's my. I don't know. I have too many questions and not enough answers. Gossi. I love you, Gossi, and I wish you all the blessings, and you and your family, and with everyone in the chat, with everyone, Lieutenant Tarus, Timothy, Based, everyone, Fun with Dirts. Love you all. I gotta go. I'm gonna start bloody bawling my eyes out like a fanny. What's wrong with me? Anyway, thank you guys. Blessings to all of you. Have a good one.
Where HAFEZ your weatherman? And have we got news for you? Let's get ready, all you lonely girls, and leave those umbrellas at home. Humidity's rising. Barometer's getting low. How low, girl? Uh-oh. According to all sources. What sources now? The street's the place to go. Better hurry up. 'Cause tonight for the first time